Join me as I dive into Donald Trump's big day and try to see if I can keep up with all the twists and turns that come with it. Today's a significant day for Donald Trump, and I'm excited to break it all down for you. From the latest controversies to the high stakes decisions, we're going to cover it all, so make sure to stick around till the end. Donald Trump is no stranger to controversy, but today it seems like the heat is really on. He's been dealing with some major criticism over his recent tweets, and it's putting his presidency in the spotlight once again. There are many who believe his words are causing harm to America's international relationships, and some are even calling for him to be held accountable for spreading hate speech. But that's not all. Trump's also facing opposition from within his own party. Many Republicans are speaking out against his policies, and some are even going so far as to say that they no longer support him. It's a tough time for the president, and it'll be interesting to see how he responds to all this backlash. As if all this wasn't enough, Trump's also dealing with a number of court cases that could have major implications for his presidency. His lawyers are working overtime to try and fight off these legal challenges, but it's an uphill battle. Whatever the outcome, it's clear that today is a critical day for Trump and his team. In the midst of all these challenges, Trump's going to need all his charisma and negotiation skills to come out on top. It's a big day for him, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. So, what's really going on today? Well, from what I've gathered, it seems like the media is going wild over Trump's latest speech. He's been defending his policies and pushing back against his critics, and it's been making headlines all day. The public reaction has been mixed, with some people praising Trump's bold stance and others accusing him of being reckless and irresponsible. It's clear that opinions are divided, and it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out in the coming days. As I've been following the news today, one thing that's really caught my attention is the way Trump's team has been using social media to push back against his critics. It's a clever move, and it's definitely getting a lot of attention. But despite all the drama and controversy, today's events are also a reminder that Trump is still a powerful figure in American politics. He's got a huge following, and many people still believe in him and his vision for America. One moment today that really stood out to me was when Trump took to Twitter to respond to his critics. It was a bold move, and it's got everyone talking. The way he phrased his tweet was classic Trump: defiant, confident, and unapologetic. It's clearly gotten under the skin of his opponents, and it's sparked a wave of debate and discussion online. Whatever you think of Trump's tweet, it's undeniable that it's had a big impact. It's been shared and commented on thousands of times, and it's even trending on Twitter. As the day comes to a close, it's clear that Trump's big day has been a wild ride. From the controversy to the drama, it's been a day that's had everyone talking. So, what does it all mean for Trump's future? Well, that's the million-dollar question. One thing's for sure: today's events have only added fuel to the fire, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out in the coming weeks and months. Biden's warning about the January 6th attack, and see if I can uncover the lessons we should learn from that day. In a recent address, President Biden issued a stark warning to Americans, urging them not to forget the significance of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Misinformation spreads like wildfire on social media, and it's incredibly easy to lose sight of what really matters. If we forget the events of January 6th, we risk normalizing violence and undermining the very foundations of our democracy. We've seen it happen before: the erosion of truth, the manipulation of public opinion, and the exploitation of fear. If we don't learn from our mistakes, we're doomed to repeat them. The stakes are higher than ever, and the consequences of forgetting are dire. We've seen how misinformation can sway public opinion, and how it can be used to justify violence and extremism. If we don't push back against these forces, we risk losing the very essence of our democracy. The Capitol attack was a wake-up call, a stark reminder of the dangers of complacency and the importance of standing up for what we believe in. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of social media, but we mustn't let the noise drown out the signal. As the dust settles, it's essential we remember the lessons of that day: the courage of the first responders, the resilience of our democratic institutions, and the determination of the American people to stand up for their rights. In his address, President Biden emphasized the need for unity and vigilance. He reminded us that democracy is a fragile thing, and it's up to us to protect it. He called on Americans to put aside their differences and work towards a common goal: the preservation of our democracy. Biden's message was clear. We can't afford to forget the lessons of January 6th. We must learn from our mistakes, and we must work together to build a better future. The president's words were laced with emotion, his voice trembling with conviction as he spoke about the sacrifice of the fallen officers and the trauma inflicted on the Capitol staff. Biden's strongest statement came when he said, "We're not just fighting for the soul of America, we're fighting for the soul of democracy itself." Those words resonated deeply, a powerful reminder of the high stakes of our time. The president's address was a call to action, a clarion call to Americans to stand up for their rights, to defend their democracy, and to never forget the lessons of January 6th. As we move forward, it's essential we remember the lessons of that day. We must hold our leaders accountable, we must push back against misinformation, and we must stand up for the truth. Recap. In this video, we explored President Biden's warnings about the significance of the January 6th attack, the risks of forgetting this event, and the importance of learning from our mistakes. What do you think about the January 6th attack? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our related videos for more insights.